Pre-algebra lesson 92, estimating roots. Now this lesson can be pretty simple as long as, where is it? There it goes. As long as we still remember our squares and our cubes, right? So if we can count by our squares, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9. If we can do that all the way up to 12, we're doing really good. If we can count by our cubes up to at least, I would say maybe 6 or, I don't know, 5 is the minimum. So, if we know that 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27, 4 cubed is, was it 64, 5 cubed is 125, right? So if we know those, we'll be okay. And then even our fourth, well, no, we don't have to memorize our fourth ones. We can start working those out, multiplying them. So we're going to use that knowledge to help us estimate roots. And all we're going to estimate is what value the square root is going to fall into. So, for example, let's take a number line, right? So let's say I've got a number line, and then I'll go ahead and we'll evaluate something like the square root of 25, right? So we know the square root of 25 is going to be right here at the number 5, right? We also know that the square root of 16 will be right here at the number 4. These are the same number. Now, what if we had to evaluate the square root of 22? Right? This is not a perfect square. If we were to evaluate this, or if you punch it into a calculator, you get a decimal number. And let me show you. So if I take a calculator and I type in the square root of 22, oh, let me get the right angle so the glare is gone. It gives me a decimal number, right? Now, we don't need to use a calculator to estimate. To estimate, all we're going to do is we're going to figure out between what two whole numbers the square root of 22 fits. So if we think of it this way, if we were to map all of our square roots, if we kept going, the square root of 36, that would be the number 6, right? So we just have to look between which two perfect squares the square root of 22 matches, right? And we can clearly see that 22 fits in between the 16 and 25 right there. So the square root of 22 is somewhere, it's somewhere down here. I don't know exactly where, but it's somewhere in between 4 and 5. And so that is how, that's what I'm looking for. So the way I would write my final answer on this problem to estimate the square root of 22 is I would just write that 4 is less than the square root of 22, and that square root of 22 is less than 5. And that's how I write my final answer, and that's how I estimate the square root when I find out between what two numbers does this decimal lie. And then if I go back to the calculator, we can see that is in fact true because the decimal number is 4.69041576, infinitely non-repeating. So it's actually going to be somewhere around there, it's closer to the 5, right? So this is how we do it without a calculator, and this is the way we're going to do it for all of our problems. So let's do one more example. What if they throw a cubed root at us, right? Let's say, let's say it's a difficult one, right? Let's say they want us to find the cubed root of 250, right? Now that one's difficult because we only memorized our cube roots up to 5, right? So I know that 5 cubed is equal to 125, and 250 is bigger than 125. So I gotta start trying some bigger numbers. So let's try 6 times 6 times 6, or 6 cubed. And this is what I'll have to do for these bigger ones that I haven't memorized. I'll just have to actually multiply them. So I know 6 times 6 is 36, and then 36 times 6, oh, I gotta write that one out. See here, that's 18, carry the 1, 18, 198. Wow, I'm still not close. That is lower than 250, but I guess I should try 7 now and see if that's higher. So if I did 7 times 7 times 7, that would give me 49. 49 times 7, 9 times 7 is 63, carry the 6, 7 times 4 is 28, plus 6 is 34, 343. Okay, so what I've just learned is that the cube root of 7 is 343, and the cube root of 6 or the cube root of 198 is 6. So I can see 250 falls in between these two numbers. So my final answer is going to be the cube root of 250 is greater than 6, but less than 7. Okay? So it's going to be a decimal number in between 6 and 7. All right? That's all there is for this lesson. If you have any questions, let me know on the school website, and I'll see you in class.